back, everyone. I'm so excited you're with us on 33 Founders today because I'm here with the founders of Minibar, Lara, Crystal, and Lindsey Andrews. Thank you guys so much for being with me today.
Thanks for having us.
As we were saying, I want to go back to that very fateful Takeout Tuesday night and have you share the evolution of Minibar.
Yeah, the two of us used to get takeout every Tuesday, usually at my apartment, usually accompanied by a bottle or maybe two of wine. And we would always, brainstorm ideas, perhaps a little gossip in there, and chit chat. But we'd really always wanted to start something on our own. And it was a friend of ours from Wharton that kind of suggested wine and spirits. We started to do research and just saw it was a massive market with huge opportunity and really hadn't been brought online. So we were excited to embark on Minibar.
So what I want to know is the time between the Takeout Tuesday where you thought, hey, let's really dive into this market, and that week in between. What were the conversations you guys were having as you were getting really excited about this?
Yeah, it all happened really quickly, I think. I think the first piece for us wrapping our heads around was just what is the potential in this industry. So it was looking at the size of the industry as well as talking to various players in the industry. So, our goal is really to provide a marketing technology platform that connects consumers to their local liquor store for easy ordering of wine, spirits, and beer. So the first people we wanted to talk to were potential customers and liquor store owners. So we really, went to start friends and family and said, would you want to purchase alcohol online if it could be delivered quickly? And would you want to order it from web? Would you want to order it from mobile? So all of these things really informed our decisions about, we launched mobile first because 75%, I think, said they would rather shop for it on mobile since it was a quick purchase. And then we went to the liquor stores and said, what would you guys want out of a system and what would your expectations be? And from there, it was clear, I think, that there was massive opportunity. And so we started getting to work on it really quickly. I think within 6 months, we had some kind of prototype that we were testing and launching. So it all happened fast, although definitely not overnight and without sort of considerable planning and research.
When it came to taking the big leap of quitting your jobs, both of you had great and very high positions at well-established organizations, and you chose to risk everything to have a startup. Why did you have the bug?
I think, if we didn't do it now, would we ever do it? So we kind of had to take that leap of faith and just jump and trust that we could make an amazing brand and do it together and have a lot of fun. But it's definitely scary leaving, a secure job with health insurance and all those other things that come along.
A salary.
All those fun things. But we'd always talk about it. So if we didn't do it now, we should just stop talking. So we just kind of took the leap of faith.
Yeah, and I think for us, this was an idea that really resonated and one of those aha moments of sorts where it was the more people you talk to, like, why didn't I think of that? And we're like, oh, we might be onto something.
If you had to sum up Minibar in 2013, so the super early days before you guys launched in February of 2014, what word would you use to describe that?
One word?
Just one word for the early days, that 2013 period before official launch.
Learning? I mean, there was a lot to get up to speed on. It's a complicated category. There's lots of legal, kind of learning all the players, what we could and couldn't do, seeing how the stores reacted. I feel like it was definitely a steep learning curve at the beginning.
How about for you, Sane?
I mean, that's a good word. Crazy is another word people use. But no, it was, I think it was a huge learning curve, just jumping into a new industry, as Lindsey said, and a complicated industry. So definitely, I remember a constant craziness, but also learned a lot.
How did you stay sane during the craziness?
Each other?
The product? No, I'm kidding. No, I think, neither of us would have done it alone or would want to do it alone, especially looking back. I think having someone you can trust and do it together and rely on and ask questions and, voice your true, honest kind of feelings as the ups and downs go makes such a difference.
And Lindsey and I always say that the reason we make good partners is that we both sort of despise different things, and we, I think both stress about different things as well. So, as we can be very similar, but we also have very different skill sets and very different things that worry us and very different things that excite us. And I think that's informed even our team building strategy, is finding other people that have different skill sets that can add value. And as we've built the team, I think that's one of the reasons we love our team so much, is they add a lot of value at all levels in different areas.
I want to chat about your team for a couple minutes, because you guys are only a team of 8 right now, so still super lean. How does it feel coming into the office and having a team and having an office versus when it was just the 2 of you? What are you most proud of in that light?
I mean, I think, having found people that have a great positive attitude, believe in what we're doing, always say yes, but can also joke around, and it's not super formal, it's not super, serious. We're building a fun product and everyone's excited. But, I think at times people are wearing 10 hats and, working many different things at once. So we're excited when we can add more people to help kind of the burden and make everyone's lives a little bit easier.
Who was your first hire?
Our first hire was our head of technology. So he came on board
September.
Yeah, about a month after we officially started. He's been with us for 2 years and has been an amazing piece of our founding team.
What are some of the practices and traditions that really distinguish your culture and make you excited to go to work every day?
We have Beyonce, that was built into our kind of internal chat technology.
Beyonce is a Minibar sort of mascot. Yeah. She does more than even regular Beyonce. All kinds of tricks for us.
You can ask her questions.
It's hard to even explain, but that definitely makes it a little more exciting. We also do Tech Tuesdays every other Tuesday. The tech team goes out for drinks. They sometimes invite us, which is fun. And we usually do that on Thursdays as well as a team. Starting in the beginning, we did it even more. We actually would handle customer service calls together and do cocktails on Thursdays. But a lot of that. And then I think, team meetings, we do daily, actually, stand-ups in the morning just to hear what everyone's working on, which is really helpful. And I think interesting for everyone. One of the reasons I think people like working at a startup is they get to see everything. And so I think hearing every single morning, what people did the day before, what they're working on that day, really helps keep everyone sort of feeling in the loop and like they're part of something bigger.
With that in mind, how do you ensure that the last 5% of projects are getting done? So how do you make sure that whatever you're talking about in the daily stand-up becomes reality?
I think it's such a small team, we're all just chatting over our desks, nothing super formal, but, oh, hey, Lara, did you do that or should I do that? Teddy, did you finish this? It's still pretty casual, and I think the big things, we make sure we all stay on top of, but we want to also make sure we prioritize the big things, and sometimes the small things, we know it's okay if it gets pushed to tomorrow as long as, our customers are put first, the technology's working, and, people are happy and having fun.
Yeah, there's a zillion things that everyone's to do to this, so I would say half the time maybe that last 5% doesn't get done, but I think the key is being okay with that, right? It's if there's a million things and, things shift and some things become more important, other things become less important, can't drive yourself crazy. I think that's one nice thing is that both of us have seen startups at various phases before. So, I think things that might have freaked me out in my first job don't freak me out. So I'm like, it's okay. This is what it's supposed to be, which is great.
I'm looking forward to feeling that way. Hasn't come yet. When it comes to comparing Minibar, you guys are so young and so successful. You launched in February of 2014, and since then you're already in 18 cities. Let's go back to making the first expansion. What did that feel like?
I think we've learned a lot. It was a lot of feet on the street. We've learned a lot about going into local liquor stores and what's important to them and what's learning. And then we've also had obviously help on the team with that expansion. Getting a new city up and running, it's really getting the buy-in and great liquor store partners. And then once we have that, going out and getting the word out, getting customers, which is what we've done for the past, many years and what we love to do. So that part's super fun. But it's, each city gets easier, which is nice.
When it comes to partnering with liquor stores too, it's hugely beneficial for them.
Yeah, so the goal for them obviously is to drive more orders, and we work with them to hopefully build sales, build loyalty with customers, and really help them develop their online presence.
What was it like when you walked into the first liquor store? Did they get what Minibar was?
It was a lot more challenging. Now that we have a product, we can show them the app, we can tell them about our traction, we can put them in contact with current partners. It's a lot easier, but back then they were taking a leap of faith with us. We didn't have much to show yet. We made promises. We said, we're going to do this. We're going to send you sales. And I think, they're all really happy that they partnered with us and took that leap. And we really value that they did it. And, our partners, we talk to them all the time. We have close relationships. They're our biggest customers. So we really, want to make sure they're happy, because if it doesn't work for them, it doesn't work for anyone.
I was just asking about the other partnerships that you guys have, because I know you're working with different startups, and Absolut, for example, just an alcohol brand. Can you dive into those and what some of your dream partnerships for the future are?
Yeah, so we love working with the liquor brands. We've been able to do sort of fun, innovative things with them. I think one that was sort of a dream come true was working with Budweiser on the Super Bowl. Which was really fun. We basically worked with them on a tie-in to we knew they'd be doing a Super Bowl ad, worked with them on a tie-in to the Super Bowl ad that timed with that. If you opened the app, you saw the Budweiser with their puppies on the homepage, and you could easily order Budweiser. And I think what's great about those sorts of partnerships is they make sense for the brands, they make sense for the consumer as well. Because the customer that's opening Minibar in the middle of the Super Bowl, has just seen a Budweiser ad, and maybe that might be why they're opening Minibar. So, I think what's great with working with these brands are that they're win-win. They're great for us, obviously, because they're additional exposure, and they provide connection between the customer directly to the brand. They're good for the brands, they're good for the retailers, they're good for everyone. So, to that extent, I think we've had some of our dream partnerships. Budweiser for the Super Bowl was obviously amazing. Absolut, I think, is one of the more iconic, liquor brands out there, and we've done some fun stuff with them. Although we're looking forward to doing, more with some of the newer craft brands, and, some other more luxury high-end spirits. I think that's what's incredible is there's these incredible brands in the industry that have been around for, hundreds of years. So it's kind of fun.
How do you guys as the leaders of the company make decisions on who to partner with?
I mean, I think, Budweiser and Absolut, that was no-brainers. But, there are some smaller partnerships where the way the time it'll take to integrate or partner with them versus the upside. Usually, we'll discuss it together. We have our wonderful director of marketing who, is usually spearheading most of the partnerships. So it's generally just a balance of bandwidth and, how much exposure will get us, because our main goal is to grow the Minibar platform as well as provide a value add to our end consumers.
One of the things you guys did during the early days was you launched mobile first and then realized, hey, we might as well have a web platform too. And I really enjoyed learning about how you target your customers differently on each of those platforms. Can you explain how you're managing that?
Yeah, definitely, I don't know about targeting, but we're definitely trying to think of the experience that someone wants on web versus the experience that someone wants on mobile. And I think when someone's using your app on mobile, generally, they're looking to get something as quickly as possible. So their goal is checkout fast. The difference being that when someone's on web, they might be browsing a little more, they might be a little more looking around, and they might be searching for more information first, more so, in order to inform their purchase decision. So on web, we've really thought about enhanced features that the customer might want, such as a party planning tool. We saw that there were a lot more large orders happening on web because people tend to plan for those in advance. And they do that sort of pre-work a lot during working hours when they're at a computer. So we built a party planning tool on web where you can say, I'm having a party for 40 people. Tell me what I need for wine, spirits, and beer if it's 3 hours. And it spits out recommendations, which is great. And I think we've tried to think about that sort of experience a little bit more. On web right now, we have scheduling, which allows you to schedule an order for next week if you want. Because again, people aren't using mobile because there's no reason to use your phone if you're scheduling an order for 2 weeks from now. So we built that on web first. That might go to mobile eventually, but a lot of times with web, it's easier to sort of test things there first as well before you put them into the mobile app.
I know that those are the things that really differentiate you guys, because there's a lot of different startups working on similar things in the alcohol delivery space, and I just learned a great insight about the founders of Airbnb, where they shared that they feel that their greatest competition is their imagination. So they don't think about Marriott and the Four Seasons, they just feel that whatever they can come up with, that their bandwidth is telling of their future. How do you guys view competition?
I mean, I think this is such a new space. There's such wide open, landscape to define and create a new, better way to shop for wine, spirits, and beer. So we really see, we can both grow the category as well as make it a better shopping experience for consumers. So we want to make sure we appeal to both the 22-year-old as well as the 45-year-old, the men, the women. And we have a long list of, kind of dream features we want to build in. I think it's a confusing category. I don't know a ton personally about red wine, so, how can we make it easier for people to find and discover what they should be buying within their price range for what perhaps they're eating tonight? I think we really see it as defining a new category.
Yeah, it's wide open space, and I think, we see our advantage being that we are maniacally focused on the customer experience. So everything that the customer wants, we're aiming to build it on Minibar. I was just talking to someone about, the last time they went to a liquor store and they said, I enjoyed it because I was picking out a gift and they told me what gift I was getting. And I was like, that is exactly what we want Minibar to do. We want you to open the app. If you don't drink, we should know that you've only ever sent gifts, and you should see, top 5 gifts to send tonight. Or top 5 gifts sent by people that sent the same thing you sent as your last gift. So all of that will help as we continue to grow, really define the customer experience that we want to deliver so that it is better than walking to your local liquor store, and hopefully better than any other shopping experience that exists online.
I'll definitely go for that one. That's a good one. You guys also acquired Booze Carriage back in March. What was that experience like?
I think, it was a good experience, a good learning experience. The first time we've kind of acquired assets from a company. They had a different kind of customer base than we did. So it really rounded out and gave us different consumers. They had a lot of corporate customers that buy, big orders on the web and, are great partners. So we found it a great experience. It was easy to work with them, and it was a pretty smooth transition. So I think, we were all pleased with the outcome.
And I know they had 25,000 customers that moved on to your platform. How did you reach out to them initially?
Generally via email, but some of the higher big customers, we wanted to reach out and see if they had feedback, how we can make the transition easier. But it was definitely a learning experience. Some areas we had different coverage, different offerings, so making sure that they were informed and we could help them.
Yeah, I think the goal was clearness of communication. So, we rolled everything over to our platform as quickly as possible, so that we were only, as a small team, we were only managing one platform as opposed to managing 2. And I think that was, something we thought about, but ultimately, felt like the sooner we migrated everyone, the more concentrated we could have our resources be on just continuing to make Minibar better. So the key, I think, in the communication was just reaching out to them and letting them know exactly what had happened by email, personally, etc.
When it comes to that speed, you just mentioned that there are tons of features that you guys want to release and get going right now. And I know it's so hard to keep everything under wraps when you're so excited, but how do you make speed a habit?
I think it's all about prioritization. You can't accomplish everything today, and I think it's also, better to test and learn quickly, get users' feedback, and hopefully continue to iterate. If you're trying to make something perfect, you're just never going to get it out there.
We're both from New York originally, so we have very little patience. So I think from a team perspective, we've tried to definitely make speed a habit by setting the example of, like, if you have to do something, do it right now. Because, as Lindsey said, it's better off trying something, rolling it back, realizing you've made a mistake and rolling it back at an early stage than, waiting for the perfect time, the perfect everything to launch something. It's easy to get away with a lot when you're small. And that's why being small is an advantage. So, the more you can keep moving and keep going, before you get to a place where you have to sort of put in those checks and balances, the better off you are.
Can you share any of the upcoming features?
I mean, we've launched a few of them. They're sprinkled throughout our website.
Yeah.
So as Lara mentioned, we added scheduling. We now have recommended products. We now have store switching on our website, which is kind of hidden. So, if your favorite store is not the one that's you're defaulted to, but they deliver to you, you can now switch to shop from that store. So we do a lot of testing and learning on our web because it's a little bit easier, and then roll out those features to our, mobile apps.
Yeah, and I think I hinted at things, longer term, we would love for more personalization and more recommendations based on the data that we have. But all of that takes some time.
Fred Wilson just shared a great insight that you have to learn some things the hard way to learn them really, really well. What's one lesson that each of you have learned the last 2 years that shapes how you work today?
We've shaped, but I feel like we've had great relationships with a ton of people. I feel like, we try to operate in a nice, friendly, honest manner, and we have gotten burned on occasions, and people haven't always stood by their word. But we try to keep a positive attitude with everyone we work with, and we want to just walk away and have them respect us and us respect them.
Yeah, it's a good one, Lynn. Yeah, I think we've learned how no matter what we see, we want to walk away and feel like if I don't want to use the Sony hack, but like if everything were public, would we feel good about the decisions that we're making and how we're conducting ourselves? And I think that's an important core value for us, is being good and kind. And that's been important. So we feel like that's a big piece of our team. That's a big piece of what we hire for. We want smart people that are also good people.
That's a good one. More companies should adopt it. When it comes to the big Minibar picture, so we're talking 5 years, we're walking in New York and there's a huge cover story on Minibar. What's the headline and what's the picture on the cover?
We Minibarred it. We become a verb. I think we want to be the go-to destination anytime someone thinks of, I need cocktail recommendations, I need wine tonight, I am throwing a party, I need to send a gift. Anything in this space, we want to be the, trusted resource. I don't know what the picture is, though.
Yeah, I mean, the picture is a map, and people ordering Minibar in every part of 5 years, maybe the country, maybe 10 years, the world. I think we think, this is a significant piece of business going forward, because when you look at where sort of other categories are in terms of e-commerce, they're way, way ahead of this category. So we think there's a lot of opportunity. We're in 18 cities. We don't see a reason why Minibar can't be a companion to everyone throughout the country if we're doing what we want to do, which is providing a better way to shop. So, that's, I think, the Minibar now delivering everywhere throughout the country, and you have pictures and snapshots, and it's a whole, this is what they're ordering on the West Coast, this is what they're ordering on the East Coast, this is what they're ordering in Kansas. So, I think there's a lot of different things we see as the future. But as Lindsey said, that's always been like our said goal is Minibar is a verb, and you say, I've Minibarred it.
Well, I'll be the first one to say it because I'm the one actually who really needs it, because I never even know what the different drinks are called.
Perfect.
I want to spend the last couple of minutes just focusing on more life questions outside of the office. What are 3 things... What are 3 things, personal or professional, that you each have to accomplish every day to feel fulfilled and productive?
I have to learn something. That's like my number one. I always feel like as soon as you're not learning, you're not happy, or for me. So that's my definitely first one.
I feel like we've done a good job of, even though it's been a crazy 2 years, keeping up great relationships with our friends. I think that's super important for our sanity.
And our family's a little.
Yeah, them too. But making sure that, we maintain those relationships and aren't just head in the sand.
Yeah, we do both believe in balance, which I think is not always the case.
When it comes to that balance, how do you cultivate it, especially when speed is such a big part of your culture?
I think it helps having 2 of us. If there's something that needs to get done tonight and, I have dinner plans, Lara will cover.
This has been all week we've been doing that.
So I think that's where it makes such a difference, having a trusted, amazing partner that, that if you have the flu or you have to have a personal issue or whatever it might be, that you're in amazing hands and you don't need to worry.
When it comes to being co-CEOs, which I love, I'd love for you to each define what the defining trait is for each one of you.
For ourselves or for each other?
For each other.
Is this a one-word test?
No, it's not. You can use as many words as you want.
I mean, I would say Lindsey's like growth and operations, like making sure we continue to grow and build the business and fund the business properly.
And I would say Lara is calm and cool under pressure and a million different tasks coming at her at once. She can handle it with grace and prioritize and get it all done super quickly.
Wow, teach me how to do that. That's a good one. All right, last question. For each of you, what's one question that you've always wanted to be asked, personal, professional, athletic achievement from when you were 5, that nobody's ever asked you?
It's a really tough question. Some timelines.
Oh gosh, you've never been asked? I'll say a silly one, which was, what was your best wedding present? Which was from Lara and another friend of ours, which was Be the Chef, and it was Benihana training.
Oh my God, I wanted to ask you about that. Is that true?
Yes! So I have the hat, I have the apron, I can make the, the onions,
there's
steam,
videos,
and flip the shrimp into my hat. So that was fun and ridiculous, and I learned something new that day.
That was a fun day.
You hit all the bases with that one.
That was a fun day, yeah. And I got to blindfold her, and I told her to pack a bathing suit and socks.
Oh yeah, we were so confused. We had no idea what was going on.
It was all a surprise. So that was a fun gift from me and another friend from business school. I was also a year late with it, mind you, so I had to come up with something. I don't know what the question. I'll just tell you you could ask what I love about Lindsey.
What do you love about Lindsey? That's a good one. Very heartwarming.
No, I think Lindsey is the most loyal, wonderful person I know. And, you know, I think people are really surprised that we still feel that way, but like she is incredible. And I think we both feel really lucky to have each other. And I think that's when people ask about the biggest surprise, I don't want to say that's the biggest surprise, but everyone tells you that like you'll end up hating each other. And we're 2 full years in and I'm really nowhere near there yet. So, so we're doing pretty good. The biggest surprise is just how much more respect and growth I have for her. And, you know, the other members of our team that like continue to just put their heart and soul into it. I think that piece of like what the biggest surprise is, of how much respect you have for the people that continue to like work on this, that's such a big part of your life every day with you, is really amazing.
And the same goes for Lara.
Yeah. Whatever. I buy
I think that's the perfect way to end it, and I love that you even brought that up because it's not something that's discussed that often, how the relationships evolves over time. So I'm glad that everything from Takeout Tuesday is still going great. For everyone who's tuning in right now, what's the best way for them to start using Minibar and stay up to date with everything you're working on?
Download the app, Minibar Delivery, and our website's minibardelivery.com.
Follow our Instagram for great drink recipes at Minibar Delivery and our Twitter at Minibar Delivery.
And you can use code FREEDRINK for $10 off your first order.
Perfect. Thank you guys so much for being with me today.
Yeah, thanks for having us.